Good evening. Good evening, guys. So here we are back again over live stream Sunday evening. Going to get into this stuff again with all the Russell Brand controversy. Seems to be a bit more pressure now on Rumble. So we're going to get into that. Will they bow to the pressure? Some people out there might think they ultimately might. Going by the letter that they had written um, a few days back that they posted on their social media. Many would maybe say that they won't bow to pressure, regardless of if they're going to be losing a lot of uh, advertising revenue from this. But we'll get into this on this live stream. So just do my usual, get the link out on Twitter. So get the numbers up. Okay, that's the link sent out on Twitter. Just hopefully just a minute or two as some more people in the I'm not too late doing this live stream tonight. Got a decent amount of people in the chat the other night though. I guess I started at about 9:30 though. So will the companies bow to will Rumble, should I say, bow to the pressure? Many people would probably say no, but who knows though when it comes to business and losing money, potentially could be losing maybe millions, not just hundreds of thousands, but they might. Um, right. Okay. So I'm just going to give it a minute. So we get a few more people in on the chat. Okay. Okay then. So I'm going to get into this stuff then. So with what's going on with all this Russell Brand controversy right now, and also involving the Rumble platform. So it reads that so firms have pulled ads from Rumble platform over the Russell videos. There's Burger King, Azos, and Hello Fresh have removed ads from site in wake of the allegations about the comedian. So a number of large companies have pulled their advertisements from the video platform Rumble, where Russell Brand broadcasts his weekly show in the week since allegations of rape and sexual assault against the comedian came to light. The Use Movement reported on Friday that Burger King, Azos, the Barbican, and Hello Fresh, which is the receipt box delivery service, had removed their ads. Brand has 1.4 million followers on the platform. YouTube suspended Russell Brand's ability to earn money on its platform on Tuesday, but Rumble has rejected calls to do the same. On Friday, Brand said the moves to block him from receiving advertising revenue for his videos and social media platforms have occurred in the context of the online safety bill. Also, so it continues. So on Thursday, Rumble accused a parliamentary committee of deeply inappropriate behaviour after Caroline Dinenage, the Conservative chair of the Culture, Media and Sport Committee, wrote a letter to the company's chief executive to express concerns that Brand may be able to profit from his content on the platform. Um, and this is the thing here. So Caroline Dinenage, she knew what she was doing. It was pretty obvious to me with when you read through that letter and the wording, trying to, I guess, get Rumble to react a certain way and bow to the pressure that she was really putting on through that letter. I mean, it wasn't like a strongly worded letter like a lawyer would send, but still, it was pretty clear what she was trying to get across in that letter. But I feel now though that with this letter though, this is her and others, that people that have it in for Russell Brand, and there is that what that people call a coordinated attack. They've maybe overplayed their hand with this one. Because now the narrative isn't, oh hey, Russell Brand, he's a scumbag. It looks like he could potentially be a rapist. Now the narrative is this is unfair. This is, Russell Brand's almost like the victim here. They've gone too far. This is like Orwellian. This is 1984. That's what the narrative. This is now what's the narrative is, and it's been this way now for this is now 3 days. So it's changed, and that's maybe where they made a mistake, and they should have been more patient. And again, I'm not defending this because I don't think this is right. About it may be one thing to demonetize somebody after they're declared guilty of these crimes, but even then, it does seem very authoritarian like, and it's just this thing. You see, this happens a lot. It's just there is this buoy like behavior from the woke mob, and it is like they want to prevent other people out there that they disagree with, prevent them from making a living in any way, shape, or form, like cut off all their streams of income. And that does seem pretty wicked. That's not that kind of open and loving, tolerable world that they claim that they live in or want to. That's what they want from the world. But so anyway, so it goes on. So in a public statement posted on X, Rumble called the letter disturbing and said the Parliament's demands were deeply inappropriate and dangerous. The platform added that it was devoted to the internet, where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard, or which citizens may or may not be entitled to a platform. Rumble added, singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing, given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content in Rumble. I suppose there is a fair point there, right? Getting into the stuff, he was accused of rape, sexual assault, emotional abuse. And then Brand made that, BS kind of video a couple of days ago now, where he was basically just begging for more followers on Rumble. That's what it was. There was no didn't directly reference the allegations, and said he'd be basically looking forward to, clearing his name on that. But we get into it. So Burger King said they told the Use movement it had paused all advertising while investigations into the allegations were ongoing. Azos said it had manually removed its ads from Rumble. Barbican said it asked its media agency to exclude the site from where its ads appear. The Times estimates that Brand earns 27 grand a month for his Rumble channel and $1 million a year from YouTube before ads were suspended. His literary agent, tour promoter, and book publisher have also dropped him. According to Rumble's website, is immune to cancel culture. I guess we'll have to see about that now. If they'll be true to their word, and aims to restore the internet to its roots by making it free and open once again. I believe the CEO of Rumble said it's described itself as neutral. I think we know they're more leaning towards the right though, but whatever. But so it says that according to Pew Research, 3/4 of those who regularly get used on Rumble identify as Republicans or lean towards the Republican Party. In contrast, 22% identify as Democrats. Rumble is backed by the billionaire and prominent conservative venture capitalist Peter Thiel. Um, and Peter Thiel was the guy. I believe he funded Hulk Hogan's legal case. Was it against Gawker? That whole thing with the sex tape. So maybe he'll help Russell Brand on this stuff here. He invested in 2021, and the conservative former Fox News presenter Dan Bogino, I think it was the guy that used to be Secret Service with Obama. He's got 2.9 million subscribers himself. So there you go. Um, so with this stuff with the advertisers, I don't know. I mean, Nighty Night. Have you been on here before? What if I don't want my company being associated with a possible Jimmy Savile? Well, one, I don't think it's like Jimmy Savile. He's been with underage kids. Number two, I get it when it comes to companies and their image and PR. I get that. And I understand that there's that thing of a business of, oh shit, we could lose money here. And if our company is associated with a platform that are going to decided that they're going to back Russell Brand, despite all the stuff that's come out with the Dispatches documentary and everything, and all the other multiple accusations, which it doesn't look good. I can understand what. Yeah, I get it. It's about optics, 99. Yeah, I'm with you there. Evening, Julio Cass. How are you? How you doing, mate? Did Penny Bunny end up doing that live stream, or she held off? Has she not done it yet, though? She did it depend on whoever. Was that not just her showing off her animals and all that? It wasn't actually the phone in or just 1 second, guys. Sorry. Did a you show? All right. She getting more into the stuff with Russell Brand this year? Something about a meteor. Just conspiracy theory stuff, was it? Right. Right. So yeah. So with this stuff with Rumble, I mean, I mean, I'm interested to see, if more and more companies do pull their ads from Rumble, would then Rumble decide, okay, no, we're gonna. I don't know necessarily if they would. They might not demonetize his content, but what they might do is say that they could have one of these things where they have a talk with Russell Brand and just say to him, "Hey, look, lay low for now. You can still make money off of all the videos you've had from present, from before, but don't do any more you content. Wait until all this stuff is dies down, or the investigation stopped, or whatever." Um, they might do something like that, but I don't think they're going to be forced into demonetizing Russell Brand, his channel. I don't think they would go that far, but then you just never know though, because it's business at the end of the day. Business is making money, it's profit, and they could, their share price is down now like 25% in the past 5 days, and you're not telling me that isn't connected at all, but to do with the Russell Brand allegations. Of course, it's going to be. I know some people are already saying to me that they've had some maybe problems. They have been struggling a bit, the company, but this is, come on, 25%. That's quite a big drop for a company that's, what's their market cap again? I have to look up the market cap on Rumble and see. Hi, Eleni. Evening. How are you? Publicity? I don't know about that. I mean, they're still a very huge company. As I say, this guy Peter Thiel has invested a lot in Rumble. Um, so they're a according to Yahoo Finance, a $1.361 billion company. That's their market cap. So it's pretty big. And that's a pretty substantial drop of 25% over 5 days for a company that big. We're not talking these like, sketchy pump and dump penny stocks here, that you day trade on and hope to double your money. This is a lot different with a company like Rumble. Because you know how it is, Juliocast, with these companies that can be quite woke, and you know how it is. That's why they've done it, even though despite nothing's been proved. Well, nighty night, people were saying to me that that now they're selling their stock, and now they'll be buying it again, and then it'll shoot up eventually. I mean, I'm sure, like once all this stuff, the controversy is died down a bit, it will jump up quite a fair bit again. The stock, it's bound to. Shareholder, I mean, that's the thing. It's just very reactive. The stock market, people will panic. Shareholders, investors are going to panic. It's like I see what you mean. I understand what you're saying. That I don't know, Lenny. They seem to be quite, based on what they're saying on social media, that they'll be true to their word, true to their principles, and stick by them. That could all be just words, though, for all I know. But want to protect their brand values? Yep, true, absolutely. What brand values does Burger King have, though? Really, I like Burger King over McDonald's, though. But I guess though, if McDonald's pull ads, then maybe they're screwed. But and more stuff here. So there's this more. It seems to be more and more allegation stuff with Russell Brand, though. So I'm reading this from the Daily Mail. This came out. It was just earlier this afternoon. Russell Brand was reportedly questioned by police in 2014 over claims he assaulted a masseuse after she was hired to give him a £500 birthday massage. Alleged victim reportedly told police she was touched by Brand at a £5 million mansion in Oxfordshire, which she said traumatized her. The allegations, reported by The Sun on Sunday, are the first known instance of the comedian being interviewed by the police over allegations. This was 9 years ago. So this is just shortly around this time that, he's now talking about starting a revolution. I think he actually had a book called Revolution that came out in 2014, funnily enough. And then he went on Question Time, and then he had back and forth with Nigel Farage. He called him a pound shop Enoch Powell. But it says here the masseuse contacted Thames Valley Police, who interviewed Brand. The comedian denied any wrongdoing, and the case was dropped. So nothing here that he was actually officially arrested, just that the police spoke to him. There wasn't enough evidence. Case was dropped. Today, Alice, an alleged victim who says she dated Brand at 16, also wrote in the Sunday Times further details of her experience with the comedian, who she says asked her for explicit photographs before learning of her age. She uses the platform to suggest changes to the law that would make it illegal for people over 21 to engage in sexual activities with people under 18. Amid an ongoing debate about the appropriateness of sex conduct between people with an age gap. That's a good point. It comes as Brand's old school has put out an appeal for former students to come forward with allegations of their classmate at Central London's Italia Conti Performing Arts School. Yeah, I believe he was at that school with two of the girls from it was that group Eternal. Louise Redknapp being one of them. I wonder if they've got any stories on him. One of the pupils there, when he was there, accused the comedian of groping female pupils under a cloak of love. And According to The Sun, the masseuse was hired to give Brand a massage at the Oxfordshire mansion. This was in June 2014. Yeah, it's all about optics at the end of the day, 1990. Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's off his past though, isn't it, that he's quite influential because he's been in the public eye now for about what, 18, 20 years, Russell Brand? They all can't be lying, yeah. But some of them could be lying, Lanny, and making stuff up. Russ got kicked out of Italia Conte. Yeah, I believe so from the stuff that I read. So the girl that gave Brand a massage at his mansion, she claims she was touched by Brand before being forced out of the house, which she protested. Police say Brand told them he was uneasy when the woman arrived. Bullshit excuses, right? Brand was uneasy when the woman arrived. You mean the other way around, right? Surely. But anyway, he says to police that he was uneasy when the woman arrived and decided to back at the massage and was then escorted out of the house and left. Can you believe that? Or I don't know. He's Why would you go out of your way? For one, I mean, guys that go out their way to get a massage for a female. I mean, you hear these stories all the time, do you? Of dudes going to a massage parlor, they grope, they grope the women, you know, they get arrested. A lot of the time though, the charges get dropped. But you hear about these stories an awful lot though, don't you? But yeah. Well, it's like, you know what, Lanny, when there was all those allegations about R. Kelly, right? But it was after you'd been arrested. The Surviving R. Kelly documentary had been out, and he had a crisis manager, right? And the crisis manager was actually doing an interview on TV, and then somebody asked him that question: "Would you let R. Kelly alone with your teenage daughter?" And I don't know what exactly answer he gave at the time, but basically, like a few days later, he left. He left. He was no longer the guy's manager. That question obviously stuck out in his craw. Rebrand in 2000. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of speculation about Russell Brand, Lanny, that he might be really a Freemason and all this other stuff, and that maybe though he's gone off script now, attacking Bill Gates. Maybe that was the thing that the final straw with the elite. Yeah, no doubt he seems like a narcissist. 99. I agree. Yeah, I think he just had to change up his ways, and he's been doing it all the time. He was a drug addict, stopped doing that, went to womanizing. Stopped womanizing, went to being a big preacher, being real preachy, being a spiritual leader. He's always got something that he's got to try and what's the term I'm looking for? There's an ego there, well, a vice, and he needs to supply that. Yeah, yeah, that's the one, Lenny. Pineapple style hairdo. Yeah, very strange looking. Yeah, nice suit though. It was a sharp suit he wore. Just one moment. I mean, 99, the thing with Russell Brand, I used to think he was okay, but I never really fully bought into his shtick about the being this, I don't know, how do you call him? Being political, spiritual, whatever. This persona and this gimmick he's been hawking for the past, what, 6 to 8 years now, but and it was pretty blatant the past year or so. His videos have clearly been, like, pro-Trump, right-wing style videos as well. Fanny Craddock was more of a character than Russell Brand. Who is Fanny Craddock? Restaurant critic. It's proper old school cranny Fanny Craddock. Not heard of this one before. I know what you mean, I know what you mean, but, it's one of those things. He had the right people, he had the right agent, right publisher, all these different people, all these connections, and then but because of him being such a naughty boy and all the stuff and all these allegations and just obviously multiple women, I mean, weren't they, in that documentary? Weren't they saying he would sleep with about 4 to 5 women a day at one point? I mean, crazy, but it got to a point though where he had a name in that industry, in the comedy world, maybe even when it came to movies as well, right? He had a certain name, he had a certain reputation behind the scenes, like a, what they call an open secret type thing. And then he was smart enough to know he had to get away, try and get away, create some distance from that scene because he wasn't welcome there anymore. I think it's even like the movies as well. It's like he stopped doing movies, I believe. Oh no, no, he's I think he's done a lot of movies, hasn't he? But I think it was more like a comedy thing that, he had to kind of like create some distance there and get away. Benny Hill would be jail. Yeah, Benny Hill wouldn't last, would he? Because he was kind of sexist. Some of the stuff he did, right, would be seen as sexist, very sexist by today's standards. Just very slapstick. His comedy for the most part, though, it was harmless, really. But yeah, so I'll carry on with that story. So the where are we at? So with that story about the masseuse, so it says that Brand claimed CCTV supported his version of the story, and the police told Brand later they were not pursuing the matter. Separately, Brand's old school is now appealing. The old school Italia Conti is now appealing for alumni to come forward with allegations of abuse. It follows an allegation that the comic grabbed girls under his cloak of love while studying at the prestigious Central London Performing Arts School. The school is said to be concerned about claims brought by Tony Brown. Comedian Russell Brand has faced a number of allegations of misconduct following a 4-year joint investigation by the Sunday Times, and Channel 4's Dispatches. And it was the 6 women. I'm just reading all the stuff here. So there was the 6 women accused Brand of locking her in her dressing room and pinning her to a sofa with a glazed look in his face. Yeah, I think it's kind of like that look, almost like that. Have you seen that photo I posted, like the 1,000-yard stare? If it was another woman as well, so he just had this real glazed look in his face. Quite freaky. It was the granddaughter of Andrew Sachs. She said that she actually forgave Russell Brand. He funded her rehab. She didn't forgive Jonathan Ross, though. He never apologized, so she says. Yeah, yeah, I know, Lanny, I know. Um, I mean, one thing with YouTube, in fairness, though, you can still make a lot of good money off of YouTube. You know, I mean, he's not a top YouTuber because the top YouTubers are your Logan Pauls, your KSI's, Mr. Beast, guys like that. But he's still making very good money. He was, should I say, was past tense. He was making very good money off his YouTube. Maybe Lanny, maybe yep, maybe it was. Just the smugness of Gary Lineker. I find that so off-putting. He's somebody who used to think he wasn't too bad, but the BBC is currently facing fresh questions over its role in the developing scandal as it investigates allegations over the comic's behaviour during stints working for the broadcaster. The BBC has launched an investigation into EU claims about Brand's alleged behaviour in Los Angeles in 2008. A key part of the review is to understand what complaints were made at the time, if there was knowledge of Russell Brand's conduct while he worked on BBC Radio. I'm sure that most of them knew, if not all. If there was knowledge of Russell Brand's conduct while he worked on BBC Radio and what was done as a result. We will, of course, speak to the Bureau team and anyone who was working there in 2008 as part of this. God, majority of them are probably gone by now. It's 15 years later now. But yeah, 15 years ago, exactly, Lenny. Yeah, cancel. I don't think I'd even heard the term cancel culture or somebody being cancelled until, I don't know, maybe 2018 time around then. Probably woke was a term I hadn't heard till about 2018 around then as well. But even then, there was even back then with Andrew Sachs, there was still that backlash, though. You know what I mean? Then I even remember some people thinking, "Oh, people were overreacting." That's what people claim, but no, they had to take action. But yeah, Kevin Spacey, I know, and he's even now a guy that's like his name has been kind of somewhat cleared, right, Lenny? Um, wasn't even talk that when he was all those other allegations he was clearly not guilty of, that he's maybe trying to get back now and get back into the acting world and God, buddy Henry Kissinger of all people showed up in Kiev to talk with Zelensky. Good grief, he's like 99, 100 now, right? And they're wheeling him out. Bloody hell. Yeah. I don't know many people who defended Kevin Spacey, though, in the acting world. There was a good couple of people that defended Roman Polanski. Uh, Ewan McGregor was one, Meryl Streep as well. There's this whole thing about this woman, is it the artist Marina Abramovich, that's going to be helping Zelensky with building schools in Ukraine. And from what I'm reading here, that she's pretty much like this witch spirit cooker type. Many people believe that she's a Satanist. You see strange photos there of she's like take heads like come together like her and Jay-Z. Photo of her and Usher. Very odd, this person, Marina Abramovich. Yeah, I think I might have actually seen something with her. Was it something involving no, Debbie Harry was involved in something she did, some artsy exhibition type thing, but very strange though, some of the stuff though. Something about Abramovich was in the Podesta emails. She sent Tony Podesta an email asking if his brother John would be joining him for one of her spirit cooking dinners. Good goodness me. Best friends, Cara. Of course. Always here. Evening though. Evening, Cara. How you doing? How are you? But these spirit cooking dinners, it says that they're rituals that involve bodily fluids such as breast milk, semen, blood, urine, and she encourages self-harm and mutilation. God, that's sick. Abramovich's work has been described as having some sorcery to it. She's often photographed with some of the most famous celebrities like Lady Gaga and powerful elites at dinners depicting cannibalism. She's also done work with or has been praised by many high profile predators, including convicted sex traffickers like John of God and Alison Mack. Gee, good grief. And I didn't know anything about her until, yesterday. Gee, I didn't know you were that unwell for that long, Cara. It's good to know you're getting better, though, back on track. So this is the person, though, then. All this spirit cooking, all this weird cookie shit. Zelensky wants her to be like what, essentially an ambassador for Ukraine. It's like the world that we're living in. It's not real, right? It is pretty much what people are saying, right? It is like this satanic inversion. It's just it's just too much. Fighting back. That's good. It's good to hear, Kara. Had you guys heard about this Marina Abramovich before, though? Or So this stuff now, not some, they love taking the piss. These guys, do they? So it come out that uh, Justin Trudeau personally met and honoured a veteran of the 14th Waffen Grenadier Division of the SSS, a Nazi division. Liberals then arranged for this Nazi veteran to be recognised on the floor of the House of Commons during the visit of a Ukrainian president. Some people are saying that Zelensky was the one who made this call, but now it's come back. It says that no, it wasn't him that made the decision for him to honor this, to recognize this guy. But people are saying though that so it's obviously an appalling error of judgment as part of Trudeau, whose personal protocol office is responsible for arranging and vetting all guests and programming for state visits of this kind. No parliamentarians other than Trudeau had the opportunity to vet this individual's past when he was introduced and honoured on the floor of the House of Commons. Without warning or context, it was impossible for any parliamentarian in the room to know of his dark past. Mr. Trudeau must personally apologise and avoid passing the blame to others as he always does. They just rub it and rub. First, they're bringing in a Satanist as the ambassador to Ukraine, and now we're giving Nazis a standing ovation in the House of Commons in Canada. It's just one spit in our face after another, right? It's like, good grief. Oh, she's Serbian, Lanny. I wasn't sure if she was like Ukrainian or whatever, but Ross Kemp doesn't really interview other famous people, though, does he? He does that stuff, doesn't he, with the toughest gangs or the toughest prisons or all that stuff. How many passports have you got, Julia Cass? You've got two, three? How many? One rap song, Jay Z bragged about how many passports he had. I think what was the line? I got 5 passports. I'm never going to jail. All these people that comment on when the stuff I post with Russell Brand. So some idiot said, I believe this is a matrix attack, like Andrew Tate said. Strike one, and they try and shut you up and discredit you. Strike two, they try and put you in jail for no reason. Strike three, they kill you. I believe the removal ads is the first strike. Well, it's always the matrix. The matrix got me, bruh. I'll take no responsibility for my actions. Just play the blame game with the matrix. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Was it not Rebecca Brooks, Lanny? Was it not Rebecca Brooks he was married to? Heinedem. Well, I believe they are investigating one of the allegations, Nadim, from 20 years ago. Whether he gets arrested or not, that's another thing. Dim, are you being a dim? Have you been on one of these before? Is this your first one you've seen, or I know Matrix Attack. I hate when people say that. It's just that it's the easy thing to latch on to, and that's Andrew Buddy Tate who started all that. First time hearing it, Deem. Welcome, welcome, my friend. Andrew Tate, online pimp. Yeah, absolutely. No one was willing to be held accountable anymore. There was a time when you did wrong, you put your hands up and put the behavior right. Now it's an instant reaction. Yeah. But when people do something really shitty, though, I can see in a weird way why they never apologize and admit it. Because then it would be if you do something shitty, you're essentially admitting you're a piece of shit, which wouldn't be easy for a lot of people to do. Some people could say at one point in my life I was a bit of a scumbag, I was a piece of crap, but it takes a lot though for somebody to admit that. Interesting point though, Lana. Yeah, I mean it's probably late '90s, early '90s that you get people like was it Gary Glitter and then Jonathan King, but there wasn't many. Yeah, Rick James, right? Yeah, yeah, Rick James. He had that song "Super Freak," right, and that was the one that MC Hammer sampled for the "Can't Touch This." Boom, 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 boom. Do, do, can't touch this. Do, 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 do. There's a video. I'll just post a link there. That's the stuff with the Paul Joseph Watson allegations that I got into. I think I'm probably the only person on YouTube that's done a video on that. Hasn't picked up steam yet. Mainstream media haven't reported on it, but take a look, see what you think. That was a huge hit though at the time, wasn't it? Can't touch this. Was it 1990? I think. Uh, he just didn't know how to. He just went crazy, didn't he? He was spending money and all the mansions and people on his staff, his payroll, and yeah, there wasn't many people who got convicted, Lanny. I know. It's a good point you make. Alex Salmon's trending. Oh, what's Salmon done? Nothing I can see. Yeah, no, no harm in living your life and living a little. He just took it too far though, you know. 'Cause I think he's maybe gone bankrupt a couple of times, or like, and then he became a preacher. Polly Carmen. Polly Carmen. Musical artist, soul singer. Dial my number. You impress me. In the heat of the night. From the 80s. I'll maybe check that out later, Julia Cass. Yeah. Yeah, he was a crazy guy. Rick James. Even James Brown as well, eh? Aberdeen got a good victory today. We beat Ross County 4-0 at home. We're still second bottom of the league, though. It's going to be a bit of a struggle, but we're playing them away from home in the League Cup quarter final. So I do fancy our chances there. If we win, we get a trip to Hampden for the semi final. But the football today, though, I mean, bloody hell, you had Newcastle who humped Sheffield United 8-0 away from home. I think their manager can't see, they'll probably end up sacking him. I don't know if they've sacked him already, but Arsenal Spurs, though, that was a pretty good game to watch, in fairness, though. 2-all. That was a real, quite a good back and forth game. I enjoyed that. Those artists were big into cocaine. Yeah, Nadeem, a lot of them murdered cocaine. But then it's like a lot of people who could be wealthy businessmen will do cocaine, Nadeem, you know. It's like cocaine's kind of known as like the rich man's drug. There's even stuff with the stuff with Paul Joseph Watson. Allegedly, he's a big cocaine user. Good point. Good point, Cara. Collective denial and an institutional denial. It's just quite sad though, of like back then with like Jimmy Savile, if he had done something to a young person and then they go and tell their parents and then the parents just blow them off, fob it off, like, oh no, that didn't really happen. That's what's really sad. somebody, somebody saying I'm blue pilled because I called them out on that bullshit thing about the Matrix attack. I made me you just think I noted sleaze. Was it Dirty Dan? He was caught out, was he? It was his nickname, Dirty Dan. He lived up to it. Jimmy Savile, Gary Glitter, Rolf Harris, Prince Andrew, Catholic Church, Russell Brand. When will these witch hunts end? You're trolling here, Jim, are you? You're not serious, right? Only 7% of sexual complaints are actually upheld. Yeah, yeah. Well, that comedian Daniel Sloss was saying that only 3% of men who rape women go to prison, and that was a statistic that surprised me. I mean, I was actually thinking it would probably be the other way around. And these guys that are rapists eventually they get caught, But yeah, but he was dirty in real life though. He got caught out. Was that a video? Was it he was on a video? Was it a webcam with somebody that was in the press, and got caught out, and then I think he got suspended for a while, and then eventually they were going to wind down his character, and he got killed off. And who next, though, Cara? I mean, all these people get named and shamed. Schofield, Hugh Edwards. I don't know about Cliff Richard though. That probably won't be until he passes away. And I don't know. I mean, what, he's 83 now? But I mean, it is a bit suspect, is it, Cliff Richard, that, there's all this stuff. I've been, so supposedly a bachelor for all these years, but then, there's speculation that what he lives, is it like a Christian, is it like a priest that he lives at home with him or something? That's said that there's been questions, isn't there, about his sexuality, but probably. It'll come out a year later all about him, but I mean, there's that thing, isn't there, about was it the guest house or whatever, Elm Tree, right? From what, the early mid 70s. So potential victims now would what be in their late, I mean, they could be anything from their mid 50s, maybe late 50s, early 60s. Rains list. What exactly is that, Lenny? I'm not familiar with that. Choo, choo, choo. Mountbatten, right? Is that the one that people thought that it was? Was it Lord McAlpine? His name got put out there. I don't know about the Concora Boys Home, but yeah, Kitty Cara, yeah. Some people have even said stuff. I don't know if it's in relation to like was it David Jason's name was put out there as well? Dodgy stuff with him. Right. Okay, guys. So it's getting a bit late now. Look, I'm just going to wrap this live stream up in just a minute or so. So, just any last comments, questions, or anything, just fire away. I'll check out that Polly Carmen soon, Lucas. It's a very dark, deep rabbit hole to go down, is it? Yeah. Maybe one day I'll go down that stuff there. Well, I know a bit about the Cliff Richard stuff, but I don't know the stuff about David Jason though. But yeah, wouldn't surprise me though. It's pretty dark rabbit hole though, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna just wrap this live stream up now. So thanks very much, guys, everybody who came on. Really do appreciate it. So I want to keep being active with these live streams. So I do plan on doing one tomorrow. I'll probably do one around, I don't know, maybe around 9 o'clock tomorrow. Oh, he a pastor? Was he Carl Beach? That's maybe one I'll have to look into. I'll look a bit into that one, Manny. So yeah, thanks guys. I had no problem, Cara, anytime. So thanks very much for everybody who came on. And yeah, my plan is I'll probably be back tomorrow around 9. I'll probably do a live stream around 9ish tomorrow. So thanks guys. Thanks for everybody who came on. Good night. See ya.